Okay. Hello, friends. Oh my god, I got massive helmet hair right now. I'm just gonna wait for some of you to join and then we can jump on in. I'm recording this as a podcast as well. So, um, whether this saves or not, there's going to be a podcast with everything here. So if you have to leave, no big deal. Let me just pin my thingy so everybody knows it's a Q&A. And for whoever wants to start, I'm going to start talking about something just that happened today. But if you guys want to start leaving your questions up in there, and then as we go, I'm going to answer a question for you, and then I'm going to pull you a tarot card. Everyone can just get, if you ask a question, you can get a tarot card pulled. I also just had an idea literally just like 20 minutes ago, and I would love to hear your thoughts, ladies. So as some of you might have known, I did a small event in Sydney. Like they weren't small as in the size, but it was only like 2 hours long. And then I also did an event in Melbourne last year, and I'm actually thinking that I'm going to record all of the content from those events and then give it to you guys for free. So it's kind of like you've come to one of my little events so that you can get a taste of what my work is. I mean, obviously these Instagram lives, okay, my hair is really annoying me. Obviously these Instagram lives give you a taste of what I do. I thought that would also be really helpful for you guys. So let me know if that's something that you're interested in. So drop your questions in up here or wherever you want to, and I'm going to answer them as we go along, and then I will pull each of you a tarot card. So what I wanted to, I'm just going to spray some chakra stuff. What I wanted to just share with you guys was I just went to go hand my skis into the ski valet, because after you go skiing, you come back to your hotel and then give the skis to ski valet. And one of the ladies there was actually saying how she was having really bad migraines, and she was just saying this to her friend or like the other co-workers. Like she's been getting migraines that are going down the side of her face and into her jaw. And immediately as she said that, because I obviously could hear, I was like, she has anger. And this is something that's like I love working on. I love working on anger issues with my clients, because for me, dealing with my anger that I didn't know that I had, I didn't know I had anger. I'm like, I'm not an angry person. Dealing with my anger, it allowed me, the light's really bad. Well, it's a bit bright, but whatever. Dealing with my anger actually allowed me to get into my feminine. What was stopping me from getting into my feminine and being confident and allowing myself to just like speak my truth and live my best life basically and attract everything that I wanted was that I was holding on to so much anger. So as soon as I did anger release and trauma release and all those things, it really, really helped. So I just said to her like, hey, just so you know, that is anger. And she was like, really? And I was like, yeah, does that like resonate? And she was kind of like, yes, but didn't want to say it. Anyway, and I was like, do you grind your teeth at night? And she was like, yeah, I do grind my teeth at night. And I said, okay, you definitely got like anger. And I was like, and you might not know it's there, but just something to look into, right? Now I wasn't saying it like you have to do something about it. I was actually just saying it to her because like she's paid $600 for a fucking retainer to stop grinding her teeth, but that doesn't actually fix the problem. And this is like a classic case of people thinking these things are normal because everybody grinds their teeth at night. Like, oh, it's really common these days. You just get a retainer and then it's fixed. No, getting a retainer doesn't fix you grinding your teeth. It doesn't stop you from grinding your teeth. What it does is it makes sure that you don't wear down your teeth, but it doesn't actually stop you from grinding them. And the reason why people grind their teeth at night is actually because they're holding on to anger. Anger sits in your jaw. And even if you've watched my like morning gua sha thingy where I like gua sha my face, I actually mentioned in there how when you're doing this area here, it's really good for getting anger out. So just a little interesting point. If any of you guys have bad migraines, or if you feel like you hold tension in your jaw, or if you clench your teeth, or if you grind your teeth at night, you're holding on to anger. And for so many women, do you know what it actually is that blocks them from being in their feminine? Holding on to anger. It's like they're holding on to anger from things I didn't even know like was there. It's sometimes not even theirs. It can be anger from little tiny scenarios from when they were a little girl or in high school or whatever, but over time this anger builds up. And because anger is often looked down upon as a bad emotion, we don't feel like we're allowed to express it. We don't give ourselves permission to scream and yell. And because of it, it just builds and builds and builds. And then it festers in these ways of grinding your teeth or getting migraines or being really controlling, being really dogmatic. All of those sorts of ways are ways that the anger actually manifests in your body when you haven't allowed yourself to release it. Anyway, that was what I wanted to share with you guys when I was like checking in my skis when I come down the mountain. And as you can see by my red fucking face, It is so fucking cold in Breckenridge. I swear to God. So we went to like right up the top to like one of the highest points in North America, and it is so fucking high up there. It's like 13,000 feet above sea level, which is very, very high. And it was like full like heli skiing areas, and holy fuck me, it was like minus 40 degrees Celsius up there. It was like these like tornadoes of snow. It was crazy. Anyway, guys, ask me your questions, and then I can do you all some tarot and everything, and we can just go from where your questions take me. So drop your questions in. Oh, hot. And I'll wait here whilst you drop them in. I'll wait here and just look at my annoying hair that's super flat from my helmet. That is the worst thing about skiing. It's like the flat helmet hair. Okay. I'm waiting. Waiting. I know you all have questions, so maybe that's taking a while to come through. Leave me your questions. I'm assuming some of you are typing them. Okay. Curious to know about other bodily pain and what they are associated with in terms of emotions. I'm assuming you're just wanting, I know what you mean. Okay. So any bodily issues that you've got, like physical issues, they are not from a physical problem generally. What they are usually from, if it's something that's like it's festered over time and nothing seems to fix it, it's an energetic thing. So obviously when I had my ski accident, the reason why my ACL ripped off a chunk of my tibia wasn't because of an energetic thing. It was because that's how my knee was twisted. But the reason why I had the ski accident was an energetic thing, probably. It was. And so for a lot of people, like, okay, even the classic examples, PCOS, endo, period pain, like infertility issues, they are very commonly linked with an emotional issue. Now, obviously, if you're eating a fuck ton of carbs, pizza, fried food, and shit, then it's likely you're going to get PCOS. But what a lot of people get frustrated by is they're like, I'm eating well, I'm doing this. Why do I still have PCOS? Why do I still have hormonal acne? Why do I still have back pain or knee pain or migraines like this chick was having? Why do I still have these things? The reason why you still have them is because no amount of broccoli is going to fix an issue that's actually rooted in an energetic thing. And so, like, for example, your left side is your feminine side and your right side is your masculine side. So if you're having like a lot of physical issues on your left side, it could be that your body is trying to get you to have more attention on your feminine. But if you're also at the same time, if you're having a lot of issues on your masculine side, it could be that your body's actually trying to tell you, stop using your masculine because you have to rest that side more. So there is like a million different ways that they can show up. But what's really interesting is that if you tune into your body, so how to like listen to your higher self or your intuition or whatever, when I'm telling you guys to journal or listen to your intuition, how you do that is you literally just like close your eyes and firstly get into a really, really relaxed state. So breathing, some meditation, whatever gets you there. And then I find it really helpful to put my left hand on my heart, right hand on my womb. And I literally just tune in. I ask the question, and the first thing that comes to mind is my answer. And it may be a little bit nerve-wracking if it's something like a big investment, or if it's something like moving somewhere, it could be a little bit nerve-wracking, but it also feels so like, yes, it feels so like, alignment is what it feels like. And that's when you are listening to your intuition. So when you have a physical problem that comes up, just ask yourself, like, what is this related to? And the first thing that comes up of like, maybe it's this, it's probably the answer. So another example is like, you know, your back. It's like, for example, if you're having a lot of back issues, what weight are you carrying on yourself? What emotional baggage, either your own emotional baggage or other people's emotional baggage? What shit are you carrying on your back? Or if it's like a lot of neck and like shoulder issues, what are you holding on to from other people at the moment? Or where, if you have like a lot of throat issues, where are you not speaking your truth? All of these sorts of things. So I had a lot of jaw issues when I was younger. Like some of you might know this, but I had jaw surgery. So they broke my jaw and then replaced it. It was the worst thing I've ever been through in my life, worse than my ski accident, I would actually say. And when they broke my jaw, I actually energetically got rid of so much anger. And like people have said to me after the surgery, like, just one guy actually said to me when I was working in a cafe, and he's very into this stuff. He actually said, out of curiosity, do you feel less angry after getting your jaw broken? And I was like, interesting, yes. And other people had mentioned it as well, of how my persona seemed calmer. This was like ages ago, and before I got into the feminine work. And interestingly enough, obviously, you hold anger in your jaw. So that's why for a lot of us women, I do so much anger release, not just because it's like, oh, fun hearing people scream, but because I know it works. Like every single girl that came to New York in November said to me, the best parts of the event was the breath work and all the release exercises, like the anger release. And you can't do that shit on your living room floor. Like that shit, we're going to be doing even more of it in the March event. I've planned to do even more of it then, because that shit you can't do at home in your living room floor. You need to be in a very, very certain container. And I have to say, most events don't do that. Like a lot of events don't actually do that. So if you can come to the New York event, I would recommend that if you know that you need to do release work, I would recommend that you come to that event over doing any other work with me, honestly. Like make the effort to come to that event, because the in-person stuff is fucking insane. It will change your life. Like it seriously will. So they're just some examples. Shay. Okay. So, Lewis Photography, where do you start in trying to find yourself and who you are? I feel like I've constantly admired and wanted to be like someone and people please, then now I'm just confused in the real me. Okay. I'm assuming what you're asking, Lewis, is where do I start in trying to find myself? Because you feel like you've constantly admired other people, and you're a people pleaser and you don't know how to find the real me. Okay. So this is a fantastic question. The more in alignment you are, the more confidence that you'll have. The easier it is to make money. The easier it is to find work. The easier it is to find the love of your life. The easier it is to manifest anything that you want in your life. Like I'm like honest to God, ladies. The more in alignment that you are, the easier everything becomes. People ask me, what does alignment feel like? Alignment feels like you've come home. It feels fucking easy. That's what it feels like. So where do you start in trying to find yourself and who you really are? The best way is that you need to actually strip back the layers. So a lot of people, they go out looking, or they're told, go out and do 1,000,001 hobbies and find what you like. No, I don't think that that's actually the best way, because you don't need to find yourself outside of you. You need to come home to yourself. And they're very different. Like it's very different wording, right? Don't find yourself, come home to yourself, because deep, deep, deep in your soul, every part of you is already there. It's just that over time, since you literally came out of your mother's womb, over time, you've built layers upon layers upon layers of what society thinks you should be, what your friends think you should be, what your parents think you should be, what your ego thinks you should be. All of these different layers, right? And in those layers is resentment and anger and wounding and self-confidence issues and all these things and limiting beliefs and all these things that block you from coming home to yourself. Now, the beauty of being stripped bare so that you are like this crying thing on the floor, it might sound scary, but it's actually the most beautiful moment of the whole process. Like I remember this moment for me, like it happened yesterday. It's the most beautiful moment. And I go through like life cycles. I was having these moments, I put it on Instagram. I was having some of these new moments of breaking down so I can rise at the end of December. And I actually love these moments now, because what it does is it actually helps me to shed. Crying, breaking down, surrendering physically helps me to shed stuff. And as you shed away the layers, you come home to yourself and you find yourself, and you don't then need to like go out and try hobbies to like figure out what you like. It becomes so easy because you've got all the answers within you. So the best way to start and trying to find yourself is actually to shed the shit. Shedding the shit, I like that phrase. Shedding the shit will allow you to find yourself very, very easily. Okay? Awesome. What do you say to people who think you are crazy for believing in the universe and magic? I don't say anything to them like negatively. I just don't allow people to not respect me. So Paige, this is an awesome question, and some of you would have seen me write this to my sister in those texts that I sent her, and a lot of you said they were really, really helpful. So thank you for telling me that, because she sent me another text today saying I have more questions, so get ready for more answers to come through. What was I going to say? It was what some of you would have seen that I wrote in those answers was that I just ask people to respect me. So for me in a relationship, and in any relationship, whether it's my romantic relationship or whether it's my friendships, my number one thing is respect. I don't need my boyfriend, husband, partner, spouse, whatever you have. I don't need him or her to sit down and pull tarot cards with me. What I do need, though, is for her or him to respect me. And this is for you guys. So all I ask is for him to respect me. He does not need to know tarot. He doesn't need to understand what I do for a job. He doesn't need to know any of that stuff or like get it or be on the same wavelength. But he needs to respect it and not make fun of me. And I don't allow people to make fun of me. It's a no-go. And in the past, when somebody has kind of had a bit of a dig, I basically said to them, I support you in everything that you do. So if you're not going to support me, don't expect me to rock up to your next X, Y, and Z. And I really clearly draw that boundary, and they realize, like, and I say to them, like, you know what you're saying? You're actually offending my job is what you're doing. So I don't say to them they have to, or that they're a bad person if they don't believe in what I believe in. I mean, we all know it's not a belief, it's fucking science. Anyway, I'm not saying they have to, or they're a bad person for not, because this is really important. If you are deeply embodied in this work of the universe and of self-love and confidence and alignment and blah, 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 if you're deeply embodied in this work, you will never, ever force it on somebody else, because part of being in this work and part of being the embodiment of this work is actually being in unconditional love. And unconditional love means just that, unconditionally loving somebody, including yourself. So if you are only conditionally loving your partner, that's not fair. Or if you're only conditionally loving your friendships, also not fair. So basically what that means is that if you're saying they have to believe what you believe in order for you guys to be friends, you're not unconditionally loving them. You need to love them with all their faults, with all their lack of beliefs or whatever it is, because that's being like fully embodied in this work. Oh, let me pull tarot cards as we're going, guys. Hi, everybody joining. Leave your questions so that I can answer them. Shay, I have considered doing an event like that in Los Angeles, but I actually just don't vibe that much with LA. I've been there so many times. It's also so hard to get around. Whereas with New York, it's just like, obviously it's further for Australia, but my hair's crazy. But with New York, everywhere you can get the subway to for the event. So it's actually just so much easier for people to fly into New York. I've got contacts in New York for catering. I live there, obviously, so I can go see the event space. So if you want to come, Shay, which I would love you to, just if you can fly to New York. People are flying from Australia, flying from Europe. So just fly, make a holiday out of it. I mean, guys, you've seen the testimonials from the last event. This event isn't, like, it's not even an event, it's a fucking immersion. It's like a retreat, but 3 days and like more people than just like a little house. It's worth every fucking penny. And I'm not just saying that, like, it's literally worth every penny. You guys have seen what people have written and said. Okay, let me go through who's asked questions so I can give you a tarot card. Shay, are you still on? Let me know. Shay, Lewis, Paige, are you guys still on? And I will give you a tarot card. Everybody else, leave your questions. If you can leave them in the question box, that's really awesome. Oh my God, I love Joe Dispenza's work. Okay, I'm going to do your card page because I know that you're still here. I love Joe Dispenza's stuff. Okay, Shay, I'll do yours in a second. Okay, everyone else, hang five. Oh, okay. So, Paige, you got Father of Swords. Father of Swords. Okay. And everybody else, leave me your questions so that I can answer them. Okay, so Father of Swords, also King of Swords. Keywords: authoritative, assertive, analytical, fair, disciplined, and logical. Remember to always hear these with an open mind. This person doesn't give into emotional distraction and is very communicative and able to understand people on a highly intelligent level. So that could be somebody that you maybe need to connect with, you know, in your life, what's coming into your life, or it can be a part of you that you need to embody more. So maybe for you, Paige, you need to stop giving into emotional distraction. You need to be able to communicate better, and you need to learn how to understand people on a more highly intellectual level. Okay, and that's your card, Paige. Father of Swords. Okay, guys, the rule is ask a question and then I give you a tarot card reading. That's the rule for everybody joining. Okay, cool. Let me know if that resonated, Paige. Now I'm doing Shay. Okay, lovingly Shay. Oh, that was fast. Okay, lovingly Shay. 3 of Swords. I mean, you probably already know this, what this is. 3 of Swords. So 3 of Swords, the keywords, and remember, always open mind, heartbreak, sadness, hurt, harmful emotional ties, and betrayal. The card of heartbreak, warning romantic entanglements that will end in pain. Also, what I can see in this card is like there might be 2 things in your life and the third one is getting really tangled, something you might need to let go of. You're tangled in something, whether it's emotional, physical, about your business, a thought pattern that you're tangled of. You need to release something so you can get out of this like fucking tanglement, basically. Okay, beautiful, Paige. Okay, great reminder. Shay, hopefully that resonated for you. Lewis, I'm gonna do yours. Hi, Lauren. Hi, everybody joining. So rule of thumb, ask a question, you get a tarot card. Okay, so Lewis. Oh, okay. Lewis, you got the Emperor. Let me read this for you. The Emperor, which is one of the major Arnica cards. Okay, so keywords is clarity, stability, action, power, success, and self-discipline. A need to use your power, logic, and wit. Fairness and logic, the father figure of the tarot. So what I'm sensing for you is that this kind of makes sense, doesn't it, based on your question? You definitely need to step more into your power and use a little more of like your wit, your sassiness, gumption. Still be fair and logic, but really step more into that father figure and that masculine figure of taking control of your life, looking after yourself, discipline, all that sort of stuff, assertiveness, all that jazz. Okay, next question. Haha, I need to leave my job and pursue my energy work as a healer. Lol. There you go in the fucking card. Okay. Next questions, ladies, and then I can do thingies. Okay. Raven, insert word here. What do you know about about postpartum trauma? Okay, so part of my work, love this. So part of the work that I do with my clients is I do in the womb clearing, as in we go back to when you were in the womb and we rewire your neurological system. So this is actually really powerful because I've seen girls that have come to my events or whatever, and they've told me that they have always had anxiety. Like as a little kid, they have been so fucking anxious and they've seen therapists and all this stuff and nobody can figure out, like nobody can heal it fully properly. And often what happens is that if you're in the womb and there was trauma when you were in the womb, it doesn't need to be that you like nearly died in the womb. It could be that your mum had stress outside of the womb, or that your dad had stress outside of the womb, or whatever it is. If there is some sort of trauma, stress, which happens to the majority of us because we live in the modern world, our parents do their best, what can happen then is that you will actually have wounding from before you even come out of the womb. So part of the work that I do is we actually go all the way back, timeline regression, and you might go, I can't remember that far back. Don't worry, it comes through. And also I can go that far back within you. And we go all the way back and we rewire your neurological system. So if your neurological system is jacked up from birth, like no amount of like meditation is going to fix it, because we need to go all the way back there and fix it back then. So, and this is the power of like, you know, it's great that time is an illusion because it's just, we can just zip back there and then come back here. It's great. So we can do that trauma from when you were in your mom's womb. And then of course we can be doing trauma after you gave birth as well. So if you are a mum and you had trauma whilst you were pregnant or after you gave birth or during birth, that's really important we fix it. Like ladies, I want to say giving birth, not that I've done it, but giving birth is trauma. It's trauma on the body. Now, it's amazing trauma. You're giving birth, like you're bringing life into the world. It's fucking awesome. But you do hold trauma in your body from that. It doesn't mean anything bad, right? All trauma is stuck energy. That's all trauma is, stuck energy. So all we need to do is just actually clear that energy from your system and then you'll be fine. So it's not a big deal. So trauma doesn't need to be something crazy like a sexual assault. Trauma can be like your mom told you no once. Trauma can be giving birth. Trauma can be one time when you didn't really want to have sex with your husband, but you just said yes anyway and you went with it. That's trauma. All trauma is stuck energy. Hell, trauma can happen from you skiing and somebody whizzing past you and nearly collecting you and your adrenals going, that's trauma on the body. So yeah, that's how that works. Okay, Raven, let me pull you a card. Okay. Oh, that was fast. Okay, wait, where's the card? I think it was the Chariot that went. Okay. You got the Chariot, which is also a major Arnica card like Lewis. Okay. The Chariot, the Chariot, the Chariot. I'm just giving you guys short descriptions as well. Keywords: movement, guidance, direction, action, self-confidence, and assurance. Progress: being your own guiding force, trusting in our processes, and moving forward with our hearts and our heads. That's what you need to be working on. Okay, Raven? Beautiful. Next question. Very welcome, Lewis. Ooh, this is exciting. My question is your top tips for getting into that sexual energy other than dancing. I love dancing. Well, obviously, yes, dancing is the best. Okay, other top tips. Sexy lingerie. Like, I always buy, like, majority of my underwear is red lace or black lace. And then I've got, like, my few pairs of, like Calvin Klein boring underwear. So when I'm, like, not feeling the lace, or when I'm like skiing all day sometimes and like I'm like my ass is gonna get way too cold, I need like an extra little layer, then I'll wear cotton or something like that. But yeah, another tip, Lauren, another tip for getting into your sexual energy is sexy lingerie. And then in at the New York event and in Queen Alchemy, I teach like lap dances, and we practice lap dances. And there's even an opportunity to give a lap dance to a man, which is the ultimate like transformation work. Like, you have to fucking release all your shit towards men to be able to do that. And you don't have to do it. You don't have to do it. It's like a volunteer thing. Like, if you want to do it, you can, but there's the opportunity there, because for so many of us, we go to these, like, okay, for so many of us guys, we go to these events and they're great, but we don't practice stuff in front of men, or we don't embody our sexual energy in front of men. So you learn all this stuff, but then when it comes to actually doing it, for a lot of you, you won't do it because it's scary. But when, like, that's why I'm bringing Dom and Brian into the event again. I mean, obviously I know them personally and they're like very well trained in this area. So like they're like the perfect men. But that is powerful to be able to go to an event and actually practice embodying this feminine version of yourself in front of a man. It will mean then that you can go home and you can embody it in front of your husband or the men that you date or your boyfriend or whatever it is, or your fiance. So your top tips to getting that sexual energy other than dancing is definitely, I would say, sexy lingerie. And also just like journaling or rubbing your body in coconut oil, or like even doing like witchy things. I find like it really gets into my sexual energy. Even doing Instagram lives gets me into my sexual energy, because sexual energy is life force energy. It's the energy of money. It's creative energy. And when I'm sitting here, I am bursting with life force energy because I love talking to you guys. I love answering your questions and all that jazz. Okay, let me do yours, Lauren. Okay, Lauren. Oh, this is Lauren's. Oh, you got the Chariot as well. Okay, the Chariot. Movement, guidance, direction, action, self-confidence, and assurance. Progress, being your own guiding force, trusting in the process, and moving forward with your hearts and your heads. That's what you need to focus on, Lauren. Awesome. Okay, next question, guys. Would you ever do a program for women that are pregnant? Oh my God. So you guys asked me this like when I was in Aspen in August, and I was like, yeah, I'm doing it. And I just haven't gotten around to it. It is on the list for this year about making sure that you are like clearing yourself energetically before you give birth and before you conceive and during pregnancy and postpartum and all that jazz. It's on the list for this year, as are a lot of things. And I am really going to do it. I just got to find the time. So right now my focus is obviously New York, having a holiday and my certification. And once those things are all up and running and set in stone and all good to go, then yes, I will do a program for pregnant women, because I think that would just be so beautiful. So it's on the cards, but I also want to let it sit and just manifest a bit more and like marinate on how I can bring that into the world. Okay, Kate, I'm 17 weeks pregnant and interested to know how I can connect with my baby before it is born. Thank you. Oh, beautiful. So, first thing, your baby feels everything. So it's really important that you're always in the best energy. Not always, majority of the time, you are able to be in the best energy. We are humans. We have fights with our boyfriend or our husband. Shit happens, we get stressed. But if you can dedicate Kate, like even, this would be really beautiful. Even in the morning when you're doing your journaling or meditation or whatever you're doing in the morning, if you can just, I got goosebumps, if you can just put a hand on your heart and a hand on your womb where your baby is, and if you can just breathe into that space, and if you can just imagine sending so much love to your baby, that would be incredible, because your baby feels all of that. And some key words to be saying to your baby, for any of you that are pregnant, is you are safe. You are safe. Mummy and daddy love you. Even if the dad isn't in the picture, just say, Mummy and daddy love you. Because the baby knows that dad's not in the picture, and the baby will interpret that as dad doesn't love me because he left me. So making sure that you're always saying Mummy and daddy love you would also be really, really amazing. Okay, Kate, let me do your tarot card. Okay. Kate. Okay. Oh, that was fucking fast. Okay. So you actually got two, Kate, which is awesome. Like they both were at the same time. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, 8 of Pentacles. And let's just see which one feels better for you. There might be a little bit of both mixing together, but they both fell out. So I'm just going to read you both because I want to. Okay, so you've got the 8 of Pentacles and the 5 of Pentacles. So we'll do the 8 of Pentacles first. Skill, labor, craftsmanship, dedication to the craft, apprenticeship. I've actually never pulled this card before, Kate. I've never pulled this card. And I've been doing this for a while now. So dedication and commitment to excellence in a craft. So maybe your work or your hobby, focusing more dedication, more commitment to that area in your life, and then it will have more excellence. Just like honing in more on your skills or where your area of expertise is. And then the 5 of Pentacles is worry, loss, scarcity, lack of direction, and or security and security and poverty. So heading down a path that doesn't support your needs, accept loss in order to finally move on. So maybe, and don't take this whenever I read a card that's like one of these sort of cards, it's more of like a warning card, people could take it really personally. I'm like, I don't want that card. You want these cards. These cards allow you to see things before they happen. They're beautiful. So this card looks like this. It's the 5 of Pentacles, Kate. I'll read it again. Heading down a path that doesn't support your needs, accept loss in order to finally move on. So for this, maybe it is a hobby, maybe it's your job, maybe it's a friendship that like your gut knows isn't right for you, but there's something in your life and you're walking down the path of it and not listening to your gut, and it's not supporting your needs. So you really need to accept the loss of that in order for you to move on and allow yourself that grieving time, X, Y, and Z, so you can move the emotion through you and then it's out of your system. Okay. Okay. Hopefully that resonated for you. Who was it for? I totally forgot. Kate. Hopefully that resonated for you. Okay. I'm just reading through your questions. Beautiful trauma, but trauma nonetheless. Yep. Hello. Hi, Tay. Feeling a lot of anxiety and stuck energy the start of this year and no idea where it has stemmed from. Okay. Tay, this is stemmed from the fires in Australia. This is what it stemmed from. For anybody in Australia, I mean, I did do a little story on it the other day, but some of you might have missed it. I also have a post about like 2 or 3 posts back on my Instagram feed of what you can do to like care for your mental health during this time. Even if you don't live in Australia, ladies. Like you can feel, like Mother Earth can feel it, and we are so connected to Mother Earth. Like for the first time in a long time, my period, I've got like a little bit of cramping, like tiny bit. And like my boobs are so fucking sore right now. And actually I need to look into it, but I think it's something to do with the altitude as well, because last time I was in Aspen, my boobs were gonna fucking explode. And then this time around, we also have all the stuff with Australia. So the anxiety, the stuck energy, it's fucking heartbreak. It's heartbreak. It's devastation. It's depression, and it's sitting in the air in Australia and the rest of the world right now. Like it's really, really, really sad. And seeing all the animals dying, and it's just like I've got goosebumps. So letting the anxiety and the stuck energy move through you. Tay, you know from the mastermind how to get stuck energy out with the energy clearing. Go back and rewatch our one-on-one and redo some of those exercises. And then other tips as well is like give yourself the grieving time. Like people don't understand this, but if you gave yourself like, if you put on some sad music, just to like get the energy flowing. If you put on some sad or emotional or whatever your music is to just like get you feeling, and you started just like dancing around the room really slowly, really getting into your body, really moving, it will start to get the energy moving. And then you might feel the need to cry. Like maybe you just start getting into child's pose and you start bawling and just surrendering and releasing. The best way to get stuck energy out of your body and get anxiety out of your body is to cry. It really is. Is to cry, is to journal, it's to get out the thoughts. Because the more that you're trying to keep them in here, the more that you're not expressing them, whether it's talking about them, crying, screaming, bashing a pillow, the more that you are holding it in, the more stuck it's getting, okay? So, yeah, that's going to be the best way. Also, give yourself time, like 2-3 days, to sit in nothingness, like do nothing, be nothing, like just be a fucking blob, because what it will do is it will kind of like cleanse your palate of not needing to do things. And then by the end of the 3 days, you'll actually want to do things. And that really helps to get people out of ruts as well, is to actually just stop everything for a while, disconnect from the world, and then you'll actually find the motivation again and want to keep going. Okay, Tay, let me do your tarot card. I know what your face looks like, so I don't need to look at the Instagram thing. Okay. Oh, beautiful. Your card like fully flew out, like flew on the floor. Okay, you got 3 of Wands. Where are Wands? 3 of Wands. I love this card. It's nice. It's like the rainbow in the shit, basically. Wands. Okay. Self-reliance, inspiration, vision, and expanding your horizons. A homage to your own power and success. Looking and planning before acting. So what I really encourage you during this time is getting inspired again, expanding your horizons, opening your mind, maybe reading a new book or doing a new thing, just to get your body out of its like normal comfort zone, to help move the stuck energy as well. So Tay, that's your card. I mean, even just looking at it, you can see that it's beautiful. You know, within all of you, there's so much rainbow. So tune in to that rainbow and allow these to just like fall, like allow these wands to just fall away a little bit, change your reality, even if it means going to stay in a hotel for a night or whatever it is. Just change your reality a bit, or go see your boyfriend in Sydney, Melbourne, whichever way it is, so that you can get access to this beautiful rainbow inside of you, because it's there. Okay, let me just scroll down and make sure it's all happening. So Renee, can I get a card pull? If you ask a question, then you get a card pull, is the rules, for want of a better word. You might not have seen my Instagram story. Okay, so I've got a question here. Who's it? Oops, it didn't close. Okay, sorry, hold on guys, I'm still here. Hold on. Okay, I'm still here. How did you learn everything and get into law of attraction and stuff? It was a really progressive kind of like thing that I did. How did I learn everything? I hired coaches, many. So massive investments in myself. I read a fuck ton. I obviously trained to be a coach for like 2 and a bit years. I read a lot, listen to podcasts a lot, but for me, like I've been doing this for lifetimes. I've been doing it for lifetimes. I've been a witch like 3 times. I've seen 3 in my past lives, actually 4, but it wasn't, my 4th one wasn't a bad one. It was a really beautiful one. I was in the woods as like a snow goddess, or like a snow fucking queen or princess, something or other, with like this giant wolf as like my dog. It was cool. So for me also though, the work that I do is like very intuitive. Like it just comes through. It just like feels right. It comes through. You know, when I'm talking on doing these things, ladies, like I don't remember shit. I don't remember shit when I'm doing my podcast. Like I don't remember them. I actually re-listen to all my own stuff because it just comes straight through me. So a lot of the stuff that I teach do know. The more that I've gotten into my alignment, the more that I've deepened my practice within myself and my psychic abilities, the more this knowledge has just come through really, really naturally and easily. And it's just like, it's like I've known it forever and I've unlocked Pandora's box and it's all just sitting there. So that's kind of how I've known it. And then I've gotten into law of attraction. I don't even know how I got into it. It just kind of all progressed from like understanding my period. It all progressed from there and it's just gotten deeper and deeper and deeper into this like one massive all-encompassing thing of periods, health, femininity, masculinity, like mindset. Like it's just come into this ginormous container of everything. So when people like ask me like, I want help with this, but I'm not sure whether you do it, it's like, oh, I do it. I do everything. I just have like a branding focus of feminine energy, but I do everything. I often have like an underlying tone of feminine energy because the majority of women, they're not in their feminine or in their healed feminine, but I can't do everything. So that's kind of how I've got into it. Awesome. Okay, next question. Let me just scroll up a little bit, ladies. Totally. We're going to chat starting soon. Amazing. Okay, I was stuck in the fire, so it makes sense. Oh, Tay, I'm so sorry. I hope everything's okay. Is Queen Alchemy video modules, exercises, and live videos or all live calls? It's all live calls, unless something changes in the future. But for now, say with my mastermind, say with my Badass Bitches Academy, everything is live. I have really noticed that for majority of people, like you will show up better and get better results as a result of showing up better if I'm there live. So if like every week we jump on a live call, all however many of us are in the group, and it's like amazing vibes, I'm there answering your questions, it's more personalized, there's more of an incentive to join the live calls and to do the work. Whereas if you watch a recording and I'm taking you through a process as you're watching a recording, the chance of you doing it is like not 100%, right? Because we're all cheeky and we're like, oh, I'll fast forward it and listen to it later. And then you're not going to get the same results. And I don't want people to be spending all their money on like a lot of money on a thing and not getting the results. So, you know, everything that I do, whilst it is higher priced items than doing a self-paced course, you get much bigger results. And that's the key difference. So if you prefer like self-paced, the way that you can do it is that you join around a Queen Alchemy and then you can just not show up to the live calls and do them in your own time. And some women find that helpful, but at the same time, because it's all live, you get the Facebook group and all that jazz, and you get one-on-one time with me, and that's like really important to the whole process. I mean, the way that I've put Queen Alchemy, the mastermind, all this stuff together, even the certification, the way that I've put it all together is to facilitate the best results, because that's what I care about. I care about you guys getting the best results. Yeah, okay. So next question, can I please have then I think you said a thing later, Renee. Tay, you're amazing. That makes me so happy. You're an angel. Yay, you're very welcome. How do you keep your skin so clear? Is this also covered in the New York City event? So in the New York City event, we are going to be covering like food, periods, hormones, nutrition, all that jazz. On day 3, it's more of a chill day. And it was really great because in the November event, I got this feedback from the girls that they wanted more of the nutrition stuff as well, because I have a lot of knowledge in that area. I mean, that's where it all kind of started for me. So in November, we only did about like 2 or 3 hours on hormones and whatnot, but I got the feedback that I wanted longer. They wanted longer, hence the event is longer in March, like the days are longer. So we will be covering hormones, clear skin, all that jazz. But as I've kind of said before, and I'm so happy to repeat, clear skin is not just a result of eating well. I mean, that is number one. If you've got a fucked gut, then you need to fix that first. But clear skin is also a result of being in your feminine, of glowing because you're in alignment, because you're happy, because you're beaming with sexual energy, with sensual energy, with feminine energy, with the energy of money, like life force. So there is energetic components to clear skin, and then there's obviously like your eating components. And It's very common with my clients that as soon as they do this work, whether it's New York or whatever it is, as soon as they do this work, their skin clears up and they're like, what the fuck? Because you got to also remember, part of what we were saying before in the beginning that Shay was asking about is, what are some of those like physical things in your body that are actually a result of an emotional thing? If you have skin issues and nothing's budging it from like cutting out sugar, for example, those things aren't budging it, and you still can't get that glow, it's because it's an energetic thing, because your skin is like a protective barrier. So if you're heartbroken, if you're covering your heart, if you are wearing this like toxic masculine armor, which we shed when you're working with me, because that's what I used to have, when you have these like layers of armor around you, and 2 posts back, I did a post talking about the armor, when you have these layers of armor around you, it will also show up in your skin: eczema, psoriasis, acne, all those sorts of things, dry skin, like they will all show up in those sorts of things. So there's kind of many components to it, and that's why I love tying in all the components that I know about, because I hit the problem at every possible angle, not just one angle. I'm like, right, we need to be cutting out sugar, you need to be doing this, we need to be doing that, and then it's like every angle possible so you can get the best results. It's not just one angle, because that doesn't always necessarily work. Okay, Renee, let me do your card. Okay, Renee. And then I'll go on to Shay's question. Okay, Renee, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. The 9 of Cups. Okay, 9 of Cups, and this is what it looks like. Colorful. The 9 of Cups: fulfillment, wishes, kindness, abundance, satisfaction. This is one of the most uplifting cards of the deck and represents wishes coming true and abundance. There you go. So trust yourself with whatever choices that you are not making from a place of scarcity. Like, there is a decision that you want to make, but you're not because of scarcity. This card is telling you that you've got abundance and wishes coming true heading your way. So trust yourself and trust the support that you've got behind you. Awesome. Next question. What is the difference between channeling and invoking? Okay, so what exactly do you mean by invoking? I channel, I don't know, I just like get messages and they just come through. So with everything, Shay, and if you're wanting to like tune more into your intuition and your psychic abilities, as long as it feels really easy, then it's right. If you are trying to find an answer or you're trying to hear something, that's not the way you need to do it. You actually need to do it by, like, it should feel very, very calm. So when I'm channeling and I'm like getting guidance, or when I'm like seeing things or doing whatever I'm doing or tapping into somebody else's energy, it doesn't feel hard. It feels really, really easy is what it feels like. So let me know if that answers your question. Okay. Next question. Oh, that's okay, Claire. Who else wants to answer a question? And then when you answer a question, you get a tarot card. Nice one. Sorry, not when you answer a question, when you ask a question, you then get a tarot card. If anybody else wants to ask one. Do you know who you're connecting with? Spirits, guides, goddesses, etc. Oh, okay. So when I'm channeling, I actually don't, I have seen my guides before, and like I can like feel the energy of them. It's 3 men. I can feel the energy of them. They're little. They're kind of like those little, when I like get their energy, they're like those little gnomes is what they're like. I don't know. And I will use them. I don't actually connect with like goddesses and stuff yet. I don't like, I ask my guides for support in X, Y, and Z, and I'm definitely like calling more on that. But for me, I trust my answers a lot because they've proven to always be so correct. That I actually trust my feelings in my body because I'm so in tune with my body. So when I'm channeling, I also like talk to the moon. I talk to my higher self. I talk to sometimes my dog as well, the one that passed away. And I talk to like the universe. I just ask the universe for guidance. And then whatever answer comes through, I get. I do sometimes call in Archangel Gabriel, and I can feel his light that comes in on my left hand side for support and guidance. But yeah, that's kind of what I do. Okay, who else has a question? Oh, there's another question here. Beautiful. Best oils to help with intuition. Okay, so some of the best oils help. If you're in Witchboom Wisdom, you've got a table with all of the oils and different purposes. Some of my favorite oils to tap into my intuition. Well, one, dancing gets me really into my intuition. Some of the best ones: sage oil, rosemary oil, frankincense oil. I also find peppermint oil really good, wild orange oil. What else is in this one that's really good? I said them all. Yeah, they're the ones that I find the best. And then in Witchroom Wisdom, you've got a whole table of all the different, you got like the properties, whether you want like to attract an abundance, whether you want to, connect to your intuition, whether you want love, money, whatever it is. And then the oils that relate to that. And that's what allows you to then create your own spells and your own potions and bath rituals and all that sort of stuff. Okay, next question. Oh, Ashley, let me do your thing. Let me do your card, Ashley. Okay. Ashley. Oh, I know your face, so I don't need to look at your Instagram thing. Oh, there we go. Okay, Ashley, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 of Swords. 5 of Swords looks like this. So conflict, betrayal, self-destruction, and lost, a lack of direction, putting yourself down and in a place of harm that could be avoided. So whatever you're doing with that, it's clear, and you need to stop the self-destruction and stop the self-betrayal, right? What do you need to do to get yourself back into alignment? Thank you for the question. Okay, next question. The Adventure of 4, tips into tapping into your feminine energy. Okay, my top tips for tapping into your feminine energy. I always say this one, and I think I've got, oh yeah, on my like second last post, ladies, the one where I'm like laughing over the balcony, I talk about it in there. You're born connected to your feminine energy, right? This is so fucking important. You're born, triggered, good. Okay, Ashley, you're born connected to your feminine energy. So you don't need to actually do anything to connect to your feminine energy. You need to get rid of the shit that's stopping you from connecting to your feminine energy. This is so important. So what I don't want you guys to think is that you need to create some long ass fucking list of everything that you need to do in a day to connect to your feminine. No, once you've done the work and shed everything that stopped you from connecting to your feminine, all the trauma, the shame, the whatever, the wounds, the beliefs, once you've cleared all of that, then it becomes really, really easy to be in your feminine. Now, if you haven't done that clearing work and you don't want to do it for whatever reason or whatever the reason is, then like firstly, it will never feel easy to be in your feminine, number one. Okay. So I can give you things to do, but if you haven't cleared what stopped you from being in your feminine, it won't feel easy to be in your feminine. Once you have done that, or if you don't want to do that, some of my favorite ways to get into my feminine energy is music, dancing, my like witchy stuff, journaling, like cooking, making out with my man, what else? Like putting clothes on, like really nice outfits, putting lingerie on, just moving my hips. They're all really great ways to get into my feminine. Okay. So the Adventure of 4, let me pull your tarot card. Oh, that was fucking fast. Okay. Father of Wands. Father of Wands. This is your card, the Adventure of 4. Okay, leader, visionary, charismatic, creative, capable, and influential. Someone who leads with their head and their heart. Tap into creativity as a form of art and healing. So, you need to lead more with your heart, and you need to tap way more into your creativity, which makes total sense because you asked a question about feminine energy, and that is creative energy. You need to tap more into your creativity as a form of art and healing. There you go. You obviously need to do work around your feminine energy. Okay, next question. November child. Hey, Monica. Hi. From your experience, have you found any generalized feminine energy themes / tips, particularly for women of color? This is a really great question. I haven't realized energy themes, but what I want to say is that you're no different. Just because your skin tone is different doesn't mean you're any different in terms of energy. It's exactly the same. So everything that I say about generalized feminine energy issues, tips, etc., Exactly the same for if you have darker skin than me. Exactly the same. We're all the same. But great question. Let me pull you a tarot card. Okay, November child. And I think that was your question here as well, wasn't it? Yeah, okay. I'm going to pull your card. Whoop, there we go. Mother of Swords. November child. Mother of Swords. Okay. Insightful, loyal, determined, sharp-witted, and intellectual. This person is loyal, sharp, highly perceptive, and very intellectual. Embrace being assertive and compassionate. So I feel like you need to tap more into this. I'm going to read it again for you. So you need to tap more into being loyal, sharp, highly perceptive, and very intellectual. Embrace being assertive and compassionate. Cool. There you go. Okay. Next question. Triggered. Okay. What are these cards called? These cards are the Wild Unknown cards. I have so many decks of cards and like so many suitcases to fit my decks of cards because, I mean, I travel with like a million crystals as well. It's crazy. People are like, why is your bag so heavy? I'm like, well, I have ankle weights in there and crystals, big ones. And people are just like, what the fuck? Anyway, okay. So next question. Unique self. Let me just pour my cacao before it gets too cold. Okay. Hey, Monica, binge eating in the evening, coming from childhood stuff because of always being told you are not good enough and not receiving love from my family. What to do? Okay, this is a great question. What to do is don't even worry about the food. You need to do the work to heal that wound of not receiving love and not feeling like you're good enough. That's what you need to do. I love this question. Ladies, things like food issues, things like period issues, things like confidence issues or body image issues or like issues having an orgasm or issues surrendering, whatever these like issues are that can seem very like, what's the word? Very surface level, I'm going to say. And any sort of eating issues is basically like all eating issues. Do not work on the food. Like, do not go to somebody that is going to help you with like a meal plan or whatever. Or don't go to somebody that, unless the way they work is dealing with the trauma causing the binge eating, don't go to someone that's going to fix your binge eating and that's not going to dive into the trauma. Like, what I sometimes see is people trying to be like, all food is good. All food is like, you can eat whatever you want, but let's train your brain moderation. Like, you'll never be happy. You'll never be fully satisfied if you only work on the food. What you need to do, unique self, is whether it's with me or somebody else, would love it to be me, because I know I can do this for you. What you actually need to do is you need to heal this childhood stuff. And then as soon as you heal the childhood stuff, the eating, so easy. So somebody comes to me with like an eating issue. We will like not focus first on the eating thing. We go straight all the way down to the childhood, clear all that trauma. And then the eating is like, oh, it's fixed. That was easy. And you don't have to think about food. It just becomes so easy because we fixed the problem. So the binge eating is like the surface level, like tip of the iceberg. And it's actually, that's not the problem. The problem is something much bigger and deeper down. And once you fix that bigger and deeper down thing, the binge eating will disappear. Same with any sort of like over-exercising or body dysmorphia or like any sort of sexual issues, exactly the same thing. It's showing up as that symptom, like that's how it's showing up, but that isn't the problem. It's something deeper down. Okay, let me do, oh guys, I have to come back because it's ending in 2 minutes. So yeah, I tried that and been there. I'm very much clear and aware where it comes from, just kind of overwhelmed what steps to take. So obviously it hasn't worked. Even though you can be aware of something, it doesn't mean that you've cleared it from your body. So you need to actually do the clearing work, not just understand it. Okay, everybody come back in a minute. I have to close this because I'm about to get logged out because you've been an hour, and then come back and re-bring in your questions. So unique self, can you just, and Lauren, can you just bring your questions back into the next thingy because I don't want this to die. I'll see you guys in a sec. Yay, we're all back. Everyone gets the gist now. I talk for so long when this is like a very frequent occurrence. So I don't think the thing's saved again, but it's recording as a podcast, so you guys will get it either way. Okay, so pop your questions back in. Lauren, you did. Beautiful, thank you. So finishing off unique self from what you were saying before about the binge eating, even though it seems like you know where it's come from, that's great, but you obviously haven't actually healed it within your body. I know a lot of people come to me and they know where things have come from, like they figured it out, and that's great, but it hasn't fixed the problem, has it? So whilst for some people, like, it depends. For some personality types, like this is actually me, as soon as I understand something, I can fix it straight away. Gone, next, done. But for a lot of my clients, some of them are like that, and some of them, they can understand it, but it needs to then be cleared from their body. And we can obviously do that via Zoom, easy, like I do it with my clients all the time. But this is where New York's going to be so potent. This is where my in-person events from now on are just that next level for you guys to go. That if you just want to like rip the Band-Aid off and be done after 3 days, like done for life is what I mean, then that's where the event is going to be amazing. Especially if you know where things have come from, but they're still within your body. Like, you got to remember that your mind can understand things, but we hold memories in our body. We hold trauma, we hold stuck energy, we hold memories in our body. So if you have not cleared that shit and the blocks from your body, then it's not gone. That's why you're still binging. So something to think about. Okay. Oh, you're so welcome, Lauren. Thank you, guys. I appreciate when you say thank you for your time. Like, I really appreciate it. It actually means a lot to me. So thank you. It makes me like want to jump on more because I know that you guys appreciate it. I'm also going to record like a masterclass as a podcast just from my Sydney and Melbourne events, things that I talked about, exercise I took you guys through that you can get. And then it's like a little bit of like an intro into my work, so you guys can like put your fingers in into it if you haven't worked with me before. Some of you also asked when my one-off Witch Wisdom sessions are going to start again. You can book in right now if you want to. My calendar's closed till like the 20th of Jan. So if you want to book in a one-off coaching session with me, just email me or DM me, and Shelby will book you in, no problemo. Okay, this is the tarot deck. It's called the Wild Unknown Tarot Deck. Okay, let me do your... okay, no worries, unique self. Thank you. Let me do your card reading right now. 1 second. Oh, there we go. Okay, lol. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. So, okay, here we go. For unique self, you got the 9 of Swords. Darkness, anguish, sadness, depression, and nightmares. The mental anguish and anxiety that comes from purging unpleasant feelings to find healing at last. Talk about perfect based on what we just talked about. Basically what this card is saying to you is that you're sitting in this like mental anguish and anxiety right now of not purging shit that's in your body, as in the emotional trauma. And once you do purge that, you're going to find healing at last. Seems pretty perfect to me. Okay. Next question. I've answered that. Lauren, difference between Oracle and Tarot cards, or are they the same thing? I talk about as in Witchery and Wisdom in more depth, but Tarot cards and Oracle cards are not the same thing. Tarot cards are more like specific and they're like kind of that next level. Oracle cards are a great thing to start off with. They're more general guidance. They are not all the same, whereas Tarot cards, they're going to be about suits and numbers, and then you got the major arcana and the minor arcana, so it's a little bit more like specific. I prefer tarot cards to oracle cards. Yeah, I use my tarot cards more with my clients than my oracle cards, but I love oracle cards because they can be a little bit lighter sometimes when when you don't feel like doing some full tarot spread. Oracle cards are great, but the tarot spreads, like you guys would have seen, the tarot spreads are amazing for when I'm doing a full 2020 reading. Oh, for any of you that want to book in a one-off session with me, or for any of you that are going to join the mastermind, or any of you that are going to join Baba, if you want to have in our one-on-one session a full 2020 reading, just let me know and we can totally include that. I know some of you have asked me about that, so if you want that in like your session with me, just let me know, your one-off session, just let me know, we can put it in there. It's easy peasy. Lemon squeezy. Okay. Hey, Robber, histamine intolerance. Please tell me more how to balance food supplements. Okay, so histamine. Oh my God, let me just find this drug, this like herb. Hold on a second. My mum has actually had really bad histamine intolerance in Melbourne, and she told me the thing that she's taking that's been working. So I'm gonna just try and find it for you guys, because it is very good. I might just try and find it afterwards if I don't waste your time. I think it's on my phone. I'll find it afterwards. So a histamine imbalance, basically, you know, if you are like drinking bone broth and you're getting an itchy throat afterwards, for example, or you're breaking out in hives or that sort of stuff, you've got a histamine intolerance. It's common, you know, when hay fever plays up and that sort of stuff around summertime. So it is important that you, okay, I don't know how to look up like stuff on my laptop. Oh, here, files. So it is common to be having with hay fever and stuff. It's really important that you work on your gut health. So it comes from your gut. When your gut is imbalanced in its microbiome, it's going to exacerbate any histamine issues. So just make sure that you do the gut right. So you guys would have seen I wrote a blog post on it ages ago, and I've talked about it in my podcast, Gut Right from ATP. Go to my favorite products page. Oh my God, guys, by the way, my website is nearly done. It was meant to be done end of last year, but it didn't happen. It's nearly done. The website is fucking lit. So it's worth the wait. When you guys see the website, you're going to die. It's so fucking good, the new website. So with the histamine intolerance, if you go to my current website, go on the favorite products page, you will see the Gut Right there. Get it, ingest it, fucking drink it. Do everything with it. Do the Gut Right 10 days. It'll help your gut, which is going to help your histamine intolerance. Okay, I found the vitamins / herbs. So let me just load this up, everybody, and write these ones down. Okay, Allergy Care from Bioceuticals. And then Allergies from Metagenics. Now, Metagenics you generally need to get from a naturopath. Unless you have a store that doesn't need a naturopath. So it depends where you live. Allergies is spelled Allergese from Metagenics. And then you got Allergy Care from Bioceuticals. And they have been amazing for my mum. I don't suffer from hay fever or like histamine issues, and mum didn't used to, but she's been getting bad hay fever, and she sent those to me because one of my other clients was asking, and I knew they worked because nothing was working for my mum besides those things. So yeah. Okay. Hey, hey Alyssa. So Alyssa, all you have to do is ask a question. Oh yeah, you've asked one further down. Okay. I will get down to you guys in a second. Hold on a second. Let me go back up to, where was I doing? Haley. Oh my God, where is it? Okay, hey Robert. Okay, let me do a tarot card reading for you guys, and we'll just do like 10 minutes more, and then I'm gonna head off because I actually want to finish recording a podcast about shame for you guys. Oops, there we go. Okay, hey Robert. Okay, so you have got the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, that's not right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yep. Okay, you've got this card, hey Robert, which is the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of swords. Deceit, sneaky, betrayal, and getting away with something. Avoiding dealing with a situation by sneaking away from it. What are you avoiding by sneaking away from it? Stop it. Face it head on so it can disappear. Okay, so you can alchemize it. Next question. No worries, unique self. Glad it resonated. Okay, Kaylee Brown. I feel like I'm full of creative energy but struggle to funnel it into one specific project or profession. Any tips, advice around this? It's knowing exactly what I'm put here. It's a feeling of not knowing exactly what I'm put here to do. Okay, well, firstly, what I want to say is, as a feminine woman, we are not here for only one thing. We are evolving, we are adapting, we have 10 million things, 10 million different hobbies. Like, I'm sure some of you might have been like, oh, I wouldn't have thought Monica would be like a double black adrenaline drunkie going down the mountain, but I am. And this is like even, you know what, even a example of this is, if you were to stereotype, you would say that if you saw me in my ski outfit, you would probably go, she's a snow bunny and would stick to green runs. But in actual fact, I go and hit the double blacks. Like, I'm not a snow bunny that wants to fit the green runs. I'm like, can we avoid greens? They're fucking boring. And even blues. I'm like, not boring. And like, I like don't like green runs. I'm like, give me the off-piste, the trees, the moguls. Give me that shit. Like the hard stuff. Like that, like my ski wear has like avalanche software in it. And if you were to look at things stereotypically, you would say, based on what she's wearing, she is this person, right? But that's where people are wrong, and where society's got us wrong, of that, you know, you can only be one version of you. You can only have one archetype within you, which is not the case. I'm allowed to dress up like a snow bunny and ski double blacks, and that doesn't make me anything. That just makes me a woman that likes to do lots of things. I'm allowed to be out there like some fucking gung-ho chick and then come home and drink cacao and be cozy and want cuddles. I'm allowed all those things. And the mistake that I see a lot of women making in their business especially, and I say this to my badass bitches girls all the time, is they try and fit themselves into one box. They try and have one little niche. By the way, ladies, if you're wanting to do Badass Bitches Academy, please let me know, because you can book your discovery call in early and then you can get a longer payment plan. The earlier that you book in any discovery calls, ladies, for the mastermind, which starts, like, you can like book your discovery call in now. The earlier that you book in your discovery call, the longer you can get a payment plan, so the more doable it is for some of you, if you're wanting a payment plan. So what I see the mistake of people making is they think they have to have one niche. I don't have one niche. I deal with clients with everything. Like, some will come to me in regards to business stuff. Others will come to me in regards to food or exercise or periods or relationship issues or being in their head or anxiety. Like, I love that I take everybody. I don't niche myself down. I've got like an underlying energy of focus on people being in alignment, men being in their masculine, like healed masculine, and women being in their healed feminine. But I deal with everybody. And so, Kaylee, what I want to say to you is that you don't need to have one specific project. Allow yourself to have little bits, because what I can tell you is that if you try and jam yourself into one specific thing, you will get very, very bored, and you will get resentful of that job because you haven't allowed yourself to explore other things. So allow yourself to actually tap into every different version of yourself, every different job and hobby that you have. Like, that is such a gift that we've been given as a woman and as a woman. And I feel like, because a lot of us don't see many women doing this, and we think that we live in a man's world, in terms of like majority of the world right now is masculine energy. And because we live in this thing of like, you gotta have one thing and go, we feel like it's wrong to have many things. But for a woman, it's one of our biggest gifts. And in fact, men, a lot of like healed men, and even some unhealed men as well, will look at women and they sometimes will go like, I don't get it. She's doing like a million things at once and it confuses me. But at the same time, they find it so beautiful and so like, just like, wow, because we can just juggle a million things at once and we have so many different passions. And it's just like the opposite to men, where a lot of men will have their one passion, one purpose, or only like a couple, and they will be so driven and in this like tunnel of just like straight into it. Whereas we'll be like a little bit here, and just very like la creative energy. And in fact, men can find that so fucking beautiful about us. Okay, and the more that you allow oh, there's a fox down there, guys. Oh my God, there's a fox. The more that you allow yourself to just explore all these parts of yourself, you will find what you're meant to do here. The more that I went down the path of the things that made me feel good, so started with talking about periods and feminine energy, the more that I just went down those things, the more that I found what I'm here to do. And what I'm here to do is everything that I'm doing right now. And I just keep trusting that, and I keep allowing myself to do many things at once, because I would get so fucking bored if I did one thing at once. Like, if I only ran one program, I would be very bored with my life. Like, I really would be. So that's why I like to do many different things, and why I like to travel as well, because I love change of scenery. Okay, Kaylee, let me do your card. Oh, there we go. Haha, super colorful. Okay, so your card is the Two of Wands, the element of fire, which I feel like is a bit of you. Contemplation, determination, willpower, wisdom, and following your own path. A creative partnership, or putting the action from the ace into the world. So what this is saying is maybe a creative partnership is going to come up, but all it's saying is that I just want you to focus on following your own path, allowing yourself to contemplate the things that you are interested in, and just like feeling into them always and sitting on them. Like, don't fall into the trap of shiny object syndrome. If you've got an idea, amazing, sit on it for a week. before you go and do it. And I've trained myself to do this because I used to have shiny object syndrome, but sit on it for a couple of days or a week or 2 weeks before you actually go and do it so that you can make sure that it's actually there, and then use your determination. Clearly you've got it. Clearly you're full of fucking fire and passion. Use it, because look at all that color in that card. It's gorgeous. Okay. Beautiful. Okay. Few more ladies. Lauren, tips for overcoming fear of failure when things are expanding in my business and I'm growing. Love the growth, just nervous. You need to, every time you up level in your business, you're going to hit these new things. It's going to feel scary. Every time you hit a new level, you may have a breakdown. You will have new things come up. It's totally normal, right? That's why coaches need coaches, because as we keep growing, we hit new levels. Like, it's inevitable. And shit keeps coming up. Okay, we're human. So you're not going to fail if you're not available for failure. That's the key thing. Like, you're not going to fail if you're not available for that. Also allow yourself time when you are up leveling that fast to sit in what you've, like, just to sit and bathe in what you've grown. Hence this holiday that I gave myself. I gave myself this holiday so I could really marinate in everything that I had grown over 2019 and not just keep jumping. If you keep jumping in your business and not like sitting in what you've grown, you're kind of avoiding as well. You're just like next, and you'll actually never be satisfied. So allow yourself time to also sit and marinate in all the things that you have that you've grown. But maybe, Lauren, look into the Academy Baba, because that can be really good for you as well. Okay. All right. Let me quickly pull you one, Lauren, because you've asked a few more questions since your first one. And then I know what you look like, so I don't need to. Oh, there we go. Okay. Ace of Cups. Ace of Cups, new beginnings, new love, friendship, and heightened psychic senses. A new beginning of a deep nature, such as a romantic relationship or an intimate and loyal friendship. So, new beginnings, right? New beginnings in regards to something that is tied to emotional feelings, subconscious things coming up, and your intuition. Okay. My partner and I just broke up. Eclipse energy, lol. Will you pull a card for my heart? We had a dog together and things have hit the fan. Oh, Alyssa, I'm so sorry to hear that. Ask me a question about something that you want to know an answer on, and then I will absolutely pull you a card just like for everybody else. So just ask a question on something that you want to know, and then I will do a card for you. Okay. Chloe, same thing. I'd love to pull you a card for your business. Just ask a question, and then I will pull a card for your business this year. Yes, seriously, Gut Right is amazing. Yes, don't worry, Shay, the new website will have all my recipes. The new website is just like this bougie fucking amazing, like, I'm like, why is it taking so long? It looks so good. But Shelby is like hammering the programmer, like, hurry up. Getting some great ASAP, beautiful, amazing. Hey, how am I on the right track with my health? What do you mean, Catherine? Can you ask us a more specific question? Because I don't know if you're on the right track with your health. Okay. Rah, feels like life is all up in the shits. Relationship, don't know if I should find a job to get out of the house. Been a stay-at-home mum for 4 years now to 2 babies. Just don't know. Okay, so it sounds like you do want to. You're just looking for outside validation, because you wouldn't ask me the question otherwise. So you're saying, I don't know if I should get a job. It sounds like you need to get out of the house. It doesn't mean you have to get a job. It means that you need to get something that's going to get you out of the house, right? Whether it's a hobby, whether it's like a job, volunteering, whatever. Oh my God, another fox, guys. Damn it, it's run away. I was going to turn my camera around for you. You're asking me the question of validation. I'm not going to give you validation, because you need to tune into here and tune into your womb and your gut. You know the answer. You're not trusting yourself. You need to trust yourself. You need to do something that's going to really break you out of your comfort zone. Maybe you don't even need to get a job. Maybe you need to like travel somewhere or go. I think Tony Robbins is coming in. If some of you like want a really beginner, like lower investment thing, you can go to the Tony Robbins Unleash the Power Within in September. Maybe you need to just like do something that totally breaks you out of your comfort zone, because when you're a mum, you can often, this is often what happens with my clients that are mums, is they actually give all of themselves to their babies, which is obviously fair enough, but They give their boobs to their babies. Their boobs are no longer theirs. Their body's no longer theirs. Everything is owned by the kids. And this is all very subconscious. And it can really you can start to feel like you've lost yourself. And it can become, and it's really like, it's hard for a lot of mums because I see this all the time with my clients. And so it's really important that you do things that are going to change you. I mean, you are a different woman to what you were before you gave kids, before you gave birth. You also need to make sure that you are continuing to grow as a woman. Otherwise, you are going to get very fucking stagnant. And that's where like depression comes in, and anxiety, and being in a rut. And I don't want you to be in a rut. So before you get to a rut, do something that will break you out of it. Okay, let me pull a card for you. You know the answer though. This is like a victim message, so you know the answer. Your cards are like not. Oh, there we go. That one flew out. Oh my God, this is like literally what's happening to you right now. Four of Swords. You're about to fucking burn out, basically, is what's happening if you don't actually like do something for yourself. Stillness, mental clarity, rest, and power. Focus on achieving clarity of thought before returning to the challenges before you. You are like, just think of this, like you are the sheep and you are being stabbed right now. Like you are being stabbed, and unless you move and break out of whatever you are in, these swords are about to come crashing down on you and like kill you, like put you on bed rest, not allow you to move, like make you feel really fucking stuck. So that's your card. How to get your husband to stop bringing you down all the time. Whoa, okay. How to get your husband to stop bringing me down all the time. A couple of things. This is not your fault, but the fact that you're letting it happen is your fault. So if that makes sense, like it's not okay for him to be doing this by any means, and it's not your fault per se. But okay, this is actually going to trigger you. You don't believe in yourself enough. You don't think that you're high enough value and high enough quality. And that's why you're letting this happen. If you fully backed yourself, believed in yourself, were confident with yourself, respected yourself, you would have stopped this the first time it happened. You would have said, hey, you are not respecting me right now. Like, what's going on? So firstly, you need to work on you, because this is an energetic thing. The reason why he's doing it is because you're allowing him, and there's something in you that's allowing him to dig into that wound from his own wound. It's also a way for him to feel more powerful probably, but you're allowing it to happen. So you need to work on all the things I said before that you need to work on. And then you also need to make sure that you say to him what he's doing isn't okay. He might not even realize that he is bringing you down. Like he may not consciously realize it because it's probably from an unconscious pattern. I don't know many people that would consciously, unless it's an abusive relationship, in which case definitely there's more to it. But most people don't consciously choose to bring others down. It's unconscious. So make him aware, because he might not even be aware. It's number one thing. Like that's the number one thing. You just need to say to him from a place of love for yourself that what he's doing isn't okay, and just share with him like, hey, I just want to share with you, when you say this, you are like pushing me down. I feel like you're pushing me down. Are you intending to push me down? And then put it on him, and he'll probably be like, oh my God, no, I'm so sorry. And you've made him aware, and hopefully the problem will start to like fix itself. Okay, let me pull you a card. Okay. Just a couple more, guys, and then I'm going to go because it's getting dark here. I've been on here for an hour and a half. Okay, Son of Swords is your card. Son of Swords, determined, ambitious, capable, energetic, and action-orientated. The initial momentum for a new idea or venture. A person who's naive and compulsive. This is basically saying to me that you've got the ambition and the determination, but you need to use a lot more of it. You need to bring out more of that capable energy and be more action orientated. So you're probably like sitting a little bit back right now in your life, maybe more action orientated. Get on that fucking sword and like crush life, basically. Okay. Next question. Okay, guys, please don't say, Please don't say to people like, that's not a husband, because you don't know what's going on behind the scenes. And actually, I'm going to quickly jump on this. I feel like too many women these days are immediately going, I'm better than this, fuck this, I deserve a king. And there are probably many things that you do to him that he doesn't appreciate either. And I don't obviously know your relationship by any means, but let's just say it's a normal, good relationship and he's tearing you down. I bet you there are things that you do unconsciously that he doesn't like either. So before you immediately jump to the conclusion of, fuck this, I'm better, which I see a lot of people in the personal development world doing, of like, I deserve better, maybe I should leave. You actually need to have a conversation of, hey, this is what I'm feeling. Is there something that I'm also doing to you that I need to improve on? Like, have a two-way conversation of, what can I do to make you feel better in the relationship? And this is what you can do to make me feel better in the relationship. So nobody jump to conclusions of, you need to leave your husband, because there is many things tied into a marriage, generally speaking. And I also just want to say to any of you, if you are immediately jumping to the conclusion of like, that's it, I deserve better in a man, just sit with it for a second. Like, yeah, maybe you do deserve better in a man. Maybe he's treating you really, really badly. But if he's made a few mistakes, like, you guys need to leave room for human error. Like, you need to leave room for human error. If there is abuse, different scenario, but you also need to leave room for human error in relationships. And if you are sitting on your high horse of like, I'm a queen and I deserve a better man than this because he's not treating me like a queen, then like, that's like kind of pretentious, or that's just like not allowing people to have their human moments and to learn. And I can guarantee you there are shitty things that you do that he probably hates as well. So have a conversation. Okay. Amy, no, you don't. That's a great question. So I'm going to say Maikin 1990. I'm assuming that's how you say it. When can we see the new tattoo? Oh, I already put it on my Instagram story. I wonder if you can see it here. It's, hold on, I don't want to like flash you guys too much. That's the new, can you see it? I've got this font over it. It's like I'll repost the Instagram story. I did it a while ago when I was in New York. It's a flame on my bikini line. Not my feminine side, because I'm a very, very fiery feminine is my energy. Okay, Amy, you've already booked, no, you don't need to book a discovery call if you've already worked with me. If you've already been to New York or you've already come to one of my events, and I know you, then you don't need to book a discovery call. The reason why I have discovery calls there, ladies, and I was thinking about getting rid of them for 2020, but I actually haven't, I've just made them shorter, is because I want to make sure that before you invest in a program, because they're expensive, is that you, like, this is the right fit for you. Because sometimes girls will come to me to do like Queen Alchemy and I'm like, nope, you need to do the mastermind, or vice versa. Or they'll come to me for the mastermind and I'm like, no, you need to do Baba, or you need one-on-one. So the reason why I have discovery calls is to make sure that you are actually in the right program for you to get the right results. Otherwise, you've wasted your money. Okay. Also, I want to know you before we start the program. Is he going to come back to be transformed, or are we going separate directions? Is he going to come back to me with a transformed perception, or are we going separate ways completely? Hold on, let me scroll up to your first question. So my partner and I just broke up, eclipse energy. Will you pull a card from my heart? We had a dog together. And okay, so I don't know. Oh, you're asking a question for a tarot thing. Okay, no, I just mean that you need to ask a question that of something that you want to know. So, but also I want you to know, okay, I totally understand, Alyssa, that you want to know if he's going to come back to you with a transformed perception. But what I want you to remember is that you can, especially as a woman, like, you can feel his higher self. I get it, right? Been in there right now. I get it, but you got to remember, like, free will. So maybe his higher self is meant to be the one for you, but he has to have a transformed perception. And what I'm sensing here, Alyssa, that I just want to like trigger you with for a second, so warning trigger, you're not loving him unconditionally. You're loving him conditionally. You're saying, well, what I'm guessing, I obviously don't know the whole context, so what I'm sensing right now, based on what you've said in your questions, is that you are only wanting him with a transformed perception. You're not wanting the current him. So you're in love with the future version of him, not the current him. And this is so important, because unconditional love is loving him exactly how he is. Loving him for the fact that he can't express his emotions, doesn't understand things, won't communicate openly to you. You have to love all of those parts of him. And that's unconditional love. If you're loving him only when he's got a transformed perception, it's conditional love. He's got to want to do the work. So if he does the work, then yeah, the two of you can end up together if that's what it's meant to be. But you got to remember that clearly it's obvious to you with what you've said that you want a man with a clear with a similar perception to you, which I understand. But he may not be that man. And what's really amazing to know though is that every relationship, if you're in alignment, every relationship that you go into is going to be an up level from the past one. So even if this relationship was amazing and you're like, I can't imagine any better, the next relationship, whether it's with him, like a better version of him, or whether it's with someone else, it's going to be better than the relationship that you were just in. But if you want to ask a question about like a business, like not a business, but like a whatever question you want to know about something or other, then shoot away. He fell out of love with me. I'm hoping he changes his mind. Okay, this is a really good question, and this is totally up to your perception, but I'm going to answer it for everybody. If you're in a relationship with someone and someone's fallen out of love with you, and I'm assuming it was like a deep conversation and he's been thinking about it for a while, the chance of him turning around is small, right? Hi, Sammy. Not that it won't happen, but what I'm saying is if he's thought about it and he's fallen out of love with you, it would have to take something massive, which could be the case, to fall back in love with you. But what's really important is that if you're holding on to someone that doesn't want to be in a relationship, that's not fair on your heart. Because don't you want to be with someone, Alyssa, that wants to be with you? So I would see this now, as it currently is, as a blessing of thank you, because clearly he isn't the man for you. And whilst that is fucking heartbreaking, you want a man that is so deeply in love with you. And this man may have been for a while deeply in love with you, and I'm sorry that it's ended. But instead of wanting him to come back, how about you respect him for telling you, I've fallen out of love with you, so that you can go and be with someone that loves you as this version of you. Does that make sense? And I understand that you are still probably in love with him and all that jazz, but you do not want to be with someone that isn't in love with you as well, right? You want to be with someone that's in love with you as well. And if he said, I'm not in love with you anymore, like that's not, he doesn't need to do work to do. That's not him needing to do work, right? If he said to you like, too hard, or I'm not ready, or something like that, then maybe there's work to do. Or if he just like fucking was triggered and was like, can't deal, I'm falling, like I love you too much, I have to go, then yes, he's got work to do. But what it actually sounds like is he's respected you to be like, I'm not in love with you anymore. And like a question for me is, if he came back a year later and was like, actually, I do, hi Alexandra, if he came back to you like a year later and was like, actually, I love you now, for me personally, I'd be like, do you love me or do you miss me, right? If he said to you in the discussion when you guys broke up, I need to go do work on myself because for some reason I've fallen out of love with you and I actually think it's something to do with me, different story. But if he's like fucking crystal clear, I've fallen out of love with you, then yeah. Oh, Willie said he didn't see a future with me anymore and that he needs to work on himself. I feel that he fell out of love. That's why I said that. Okay, well, so just if I were you, you got to take it. This is really important, ladies. Take a man's word exactly how it is. They don't send mixed signals, right? So if he said he doesn't see a future with you, he doesn't see a future with you. And men can see futures. Don't fall into the trap of being like, well, men are just like really boring animals and they can't see a future. They can see futures as well. So anyway, that's the answer to your question. I'm going to go to someone else's. Okay, next question. Next question. How do you work on insecurities when you're insecure due to past trauma? Great question. You need to heal the past trauma with me. And then once you've healed the past trauma, that comes really naturally. In the mastermind, ladies, the way that I've made it, because this is what works, is that I don't teach you how to be confident, for example, or how to be in your feminine. I clear the shit, and then naturally you're going to be really confident. Naturally you're going to be in your feminine. Naturally you're going to be secure within yourself. So when I worked on all this within me, I wasn't working on how to be secure. I was actually just clearing the shit that was stopping me from being secure so that I could be secure, if that made sense. I know I talk fast, sorry. What's your favorite card of decks? I have so many favorites. The one that I'm using right now is the Wild Unknown Tarot card, but I've got like lots. Okay. I'm helping businesses with their events and marketing. How do I place myself as an expert in business while I serve these businesses? So I'm doing it right now, Chloe, for She's So Vibrant. For your business, if you want to place yourself as an expert, you need to prove yourself to your ideal clients. Part of proving yourself is like, I've got a podcast. I write Instagram posts that are thought-provoking and show my expertise. I get on Instagram lives and do like a 1 hour and 40-minute live. All of these things help prove that I know what I'm fucking doing and that I deliver amazing results. And then people walk away being like, wow, if I got that little bit from Monica's amount of time then, imagine what I'd get from 3 days with her, for example, in New York City for 36 hours. That's kind of how it works. So, Chloe, hopefully that answers your question. So how to place yourself as an expert is to show up as an expert and prove yourself to your ideal clients. Let me do a card for you, and then I'll move on to the next question. Oop. Okay. So your card was, okay. Let me just count. I think it's like 10 of Wands. Here it is. Hold on a sec. Okay, I'm getting really hot in here because the fire's on. Okay. Okay, 10 of Wands. Overwhelmed, confused, trapped, darkness, overstimulation, blockage, and difficulty. You're taking on too much at once. Let something go before it becomes too overwhelming. Chloe, what are you taking on too much of? You need to let something go that doesn't feel good before it becomes too overwhelming. Okay, awesome. Hopefully that helps or triggers you or it just makes you think. Okay, next question. What type of stuff should you do to feel good and happy? Like I've said before, when you clear your shit, feeling good and happy is so natural. You don't have to do anything per se. It's just like, you wake up and you're that. Do you know what I mean? If you're having a shittier day once you've done the work, things that make me happy is, like I said before, dancing, putting on lingerie, crystals, doing witchy stuff, music, cooking, skiing, hanging out with friends, drinking cacao, doing my work. Like my job makes me very, very happy. All those things. But key thing, don't try to be happy. Things aren't going to make you happy if you still have trauma. Our birthright, our natural state of being as a woman is feminine, happy, joy, X, Y, and Z. As a man, masculine, happy, joy, X, Y, and Z, right? Not being in our head, all this jazz. So they're our natural states of being. If you're not in those natural states of being, you don't need to do something to be feminine or do something to like feel happy. You need to get rid of the things that aren't making you feel happy. Okay, which is harder, but it gets you where you want to go faster. That's why my approach to that work is that it's just like shedding shit. So on day 1 of 2 in New York, we just shed shit, and then on day 3, it's like rebuilding, bringing up a lot of pleasure. And on day 3, we do a lot of like learning, brainstorming. It's a bit more of like a chill day because day 1 and 2 have been very, very intense. Next question. Next question. Where is it? I would love a tarot, please. I feel I am an entrepreneur but can't find something I am passionate about outside of business. Will I find something this year? Christy, the rule is ask me your question about like whatever you want to know from me, and then I'll pull a tarot for you. Okay, so ask me a question about something. Do you do past life regression session and a lot? Do you do past life regression sessions a lot, and what have you learned from them? Yes, I do. I can do them like with my clients, and I've done them myself. With past life, you never want to be doing past life regressions until your energy and like vessel is clear of trauma beforehand, like this life trauma. So once this life trauma has been cleared, then you could do past life regression stuff. And for me, they helped me like get those last little things. So sometimes when you're really intuitive and like really in alignment, like you've cleared all your stuff from this life and you're like, fuck, I feel amazing. And then after a while, like little tiny things will come up and you can't figure out what it is. And it's just like, it just sits there and you're like, it's nothing from this life. Like, what the fuck is it? And you can't figure it out. That's generally past life. And then once you've healed that past life stuff, it like goes away and it feels really good. So that's kind of what it is. Okay, Alexandra, let me pull you a card. Alexandra. They're falling through. Okay, I'm literally going to only do like a couple more ladies, then I'm going because I need to go do stuff. Okay, Alexandra, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 of Wands. Competition, delays, fighting, confusion, and lack of direction. 1, 2, 3, 5. Yep. Unnecessary drama and fighting for no reason. So there's like confusion and lack of direction in your life right now, and delays because you're confused and there's lack of direction. So just like look at this card, it's scattered, right? There's just like shit falling everywhere. That's you right now. So you need to bring things more into focus. And you need to like get, am I back, guys? Hopefully I'm back. It was paused. So Alexandra, scattered, loss of direction. You need to like bring yourself back into being focused. I don't know what question you're answering right now, but to everybody that's watching, New York City is amazing. Beautiful experience in mascara. Oh, thank you, Alexis. I'm going to screenshot that. Hold on a sec. Okay, I really appreciate that. Thank you. Hold on, did it work? I'm back. Okay. Next question. Do you want to do a podcast episode with Gabby Bernstein? I think she'd love you, and it would be an amazing conversation. Yeah, I can do one in the future. I mean, if you guys have people that you want me to like chat to, then I totally like, I'm open to recommendations. Can you just email them and then Shelby will put them on a list? I've got a lot of cacao and convos like backed up though right now. So in the future, but send Shelby an email. You can tap the email button in my DM thingy in my profile. I'm getting tired. hello@monicayates.com.au, and then it'll be there. Okay, what is the most impactful book you've ever read? Oh, that's a really hard one. I would probably say the one that started me getting into this work would obviously be very impactful because it started me getting on this journey. And that was, what's it called? Like Flow or something from Alyssa Vitti, all about different phases of your cycle. That got me into this, and it made me go, what the fuck? Why weren't we taught about this shit? And then I went on my like path of feminine periods discovery. Yes, there is. Spot on. Thank you. Amazing. Okay. Which academy would be the best to heal trauma and help find yourself that you offer? Christy, the Mastermind, Feminine as Fuck Mastermind is the best one. The Badass Bitches Academy is for women with businesses. And then obviously depending on your level of trauma and what you're wanting, if you want to do just one-on-one, that's also an option for you. The beautiful thing about the Mastermind at any of my group programs is that you get all the support of the amazing women. It's a really fun container. The vibes are like so fucking there. And you get a lot of content because everything's like planned out. Like I come to the calls planned. So you like learn a lot. Whereas the one-on-ones are a little bit more flowy with whatever you need. So Christy, if you just want to send me a DM and let me know what you're wanting to work on, I can kind of tell you whether it's best to do one-on-one or the Mastermind. But what I also want to say, ladies, that I've been doing lately is that for women that have been in my group programs, some of them have just added on like 2 or 3 extra one-on-ones. So they've joined like the Mastermind, but with 3 extra one-on-ones, and they've paid for 3 extra one-on-ones. That's also totally possible. So you can always do the Mastermind, and then if you want extra one-on-ones, you can do that. Because with the Mastermind, you get a one-on-one, but you can always do extra as well. Okay. Christy, did you ask a question before about something? Oh yeah, you'd love a tarot. Okay, I feel I am an entrepreneur but can't find something I am passionate enough to start a business. Will I find something this year? Okay, that was the question. And yeah, okay, let me just I'm just gonna do general for everybody, Christy. So I'm just gonna do general for you, and then you can let me know if that resonates. But the more that you get into alignment, the easier it is. You got 2 cards. The more that you get into alignment, the more that business thing will just like come through. These were the 2 cards that fell out for you, Christy. So I'm going to start with the 7 of Wands, just because I'm already on 7. Okay, self-reliant, success within reach, courage, and inner strength. Don't give in to fighting. You already have an advantage over the other party. Trusting in your truth is vital. Trust yourself. Okay, trust yourself. Yes, Jenny, trust yourself, and don't give in to this like internal fighting in your head. Like, don't give in to that being like, I don't have my business idea. Keep going. It's coming. And then you also got the 4 of Swords. Sorry, Jenny, I forgot about your thing before. I will absolutely do yours. 4 of Swords, stillness, mental clarity, and power, rest, and relaxation. This is the one I pulled for someone else before. I'm like, you're on the verge of like burnout or something, probably because you're thinking too much about like, what's my business meant to be, and that's just burning you out and exhausting you. Focus on achieving clarity of thought before returning to the challenges before you. Okay, so right now you're sitting in this like shit show of all the challenges, of all the, I don't know what I'm meant to do with my life, blah, 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 and it's really exhausting you. So instead of doing that, just come back to like your truth, come back to alignment, all that jazz, and then the answer will just come to you in regard to what your business needs to be. Okay? Obviously right now is not the right time. You need to like shift something before it can come through. That's all. Okay, Jenny. Oh, that was fast. Jenny. Okay. Oh, I gave this to you. You got this as well, I think, at the end of Queen Alchemy when I was pulling everybody's cards. Lol. I can never say this word, but it's the hierophant, whatever the fucking word is. You guys know the word, but I can't say it. Okay. The hierophant. Is it PH is phant, right? Whatever. Spiritual wisdom, an advisor, teacher, or guru, and awareness. A time of understanding and knowledge. You may encounter a teacher or someone who impacts your path. So a new teacher or someone that's going to impact your path might come into the world. Anna, the rule of thumb is that, could I get my tarot card, or is it like a line kind of? Oh, Nia, did I not pull you a tarot before? Sorry. Maybe I didn't pull one for you. Let me know if I didn't. Anna, rule of thumb is that ask me a question about like something that you want to know in terms of like a Q&A, and then I'll pull you a tarot card. Okay, I'm literally only doing 2 more and then I'm going to go because I've nearly done this live for 2 hours, which I'm so happy with, but I have a lot of work I need to do. Okay, so Anna, ask a question, and Nia, I'm going to do yours. Okay. Oops. That was that. Okay. I'm going to go with this one because it's on the top. Ace of Pentacles that just fell out. Ace of Pentacles. Okay. 2 more. I'm doing yours, Nina, and then, or Nia. Sorry. I get everyone's Instagram names just like fucked. Okay, Ace, this is what your card looks like. Prosperous new beginnings, triumph, and financial gain. New beginnings in the physical realm could be a job, creative project, or an inspiration for something new. That's yours. Okay. Hope that like resonates. Let me know what came through for you. Lol, Jenny. Christy, I'm so glad. Alexandra, love you. You look amazing. Have a wonderful day. Oh, thank you. Every time you talk, you hold so much value and wisdom. Thank you. Oh, I really appreciate that. Thank you. Like I said before on the previous one before it like clocked me out, I really appreciate it, ladies, when you tell me thank you. Like it's a little thing, but it means a lot to me because like it is 2 hours of my time and I'm so happy to do it and I want to do it. But when you say thank you, it just like encourages me to keep going. It's that value exchange. Like I said on my podcast. Mike in 1990. Did I not do your card before? Maybe I didn't. I thought I did. Okay, I'm going to do yours again. I thought I did. Sorry. I'm like waiting for my period to come. My brain is just like, oh my God. Communication skills are not as good in your luteal phase, just so everyone know. Sending all the love energy back to you with so much. Oh, thank you, Lauren. I'm so happy to do it. Okay. Let me do, okay, yours. My kin. I'm assuming that's how you say it. Okay. Mother of Cups. I feel like you need to give yourself a little bit more of love. I thought I pulled you a card. I'm sorry if I didn't. Just lots of people. Okay. Mother of Cups. Also the Queen of Cups. Psychic, healing, introspective, loving, caring, and thoughtful. So this can be someone that you need to bring into your life or is going to come into your life. Remember, free will. So you also need to take the action in all of these cards. That's okay. No, I'm doing it now. So it could be someone that's going to come into your life. That's going to be this queen, this Mother of Cups, Queen of Cups. Or it is something that you need to embody within yourself. The most intuitive of the queens, she feels she knows, honoring your emotions. Okay. So this is about healing, loving, caring, being thoughtful, really getting into that mother queen archetype. And this is the card. Okay. Amazing, ladies. Okay. Any last questions I'll answer, but I am pooped now. So kind of you. So much longer you intended. Thanks so much for sharing your insight. I've identified with many of the cards pulled. Great, thank you. Okay, well, I've recorded this all as a podcast, ladies. So I will put this up ASAP as a podcast. You guys can re-listen to it. If you are wanting to do work with me, I really encourage you. I know I'm not putting it out there in terms of like one-on-one on my mastermind yet, but the sooner that you book in a discovery call, the better. So like you can book in my calendar discovery call for the end of January or beginning of Feb, and then it's ready there and waiting. So if you're wanting to work with me this year, if you're wanting to like come home to yourself, man or woman, remember I work with men, I love working with men as well, please let me know. If you have any questions before you book in a call, just send me a DM. Mastermind is going to be starting in February, my Feminine as Fuck Mastermind. So any questions about that, let me know. Obviously, New York is going to be the best experience that you can do for yourself. It's about the same price as doing a group program with me. So if you are able to travel there or get there, I cannot recommend it enough. It is not like a sales event. It's like a retreat. Like you go there and you leave done. I'm not then upselling you to a program. Like that's not how the events work. There's no like upselling to a program. You come to the event. I give you everything at the event. I'm not holding back. You get everything and you leave done. It's not like some people run events and then it's like an upsell thing and like for promo. It's not for promo or upselling. It's for you getting the full package deal of all the transformation. So like honestly, from the bottom of my heart, ladies, if you can come to the New York event, come to the New York event. Make a trip out of it, get a flight. The flights are pretty cheap at that time because it's not peak time. It's going to be the most bang for your buck, that event. And if you like, are like, I don't know, like I want to hear other people that have said it. I mean, Alexa said it before in this thing. I know Jenny's come. Quite a few girls that were in these lives have been to them. You can see all the testimonials in my highlights. Everybody's like feedback sheet was like, amazing, I want more. So everybody said it was worth every penny and like more. So if you've got any questions about that or you're feeling unsure if it's for you, I'm really happy to answer them via DM. So just send me a DM if you're like, I want to come, but I'm not sure if it's for me, or these are my issues, will they get solved? Sometimes our brain needs that like comfort factor. So just send me a DM and I'm really happy to answer. Okay, so these lives will be up obviously for 24 hours. So you can go back and rewatch. It's saved as a podcast. I'll upload it as a podcast later. And have an incredible rest of your day, everybody. I'm going to clock off now and do some work and have a chill night. I'll talk to you all soon. Bye.